Samson family to episode number 2 of Friday Night Live, sent to you via our YouTube channel, Mount Zion TV. I'm your host, Chris Sloan, and I'm super delighted that y'all could be tuning in to us right now. I know for a lot of you, many of you don't have a choice right now. We're your only option because due to the coronavirus pandemic, you're hopefully self-quarantining right now, and you're stuck at home or at work. There's no sporting events to watch. You've probably seen every show on Netflix by now, and we're probably your last option, but we're still glad that you're joining us. Now, I know everybody would rather be fellowshipping at the church, same here, but due to this crisis we're in and these circumstances, we still are very grateful and thankful that we have the technology available where we can kind of connect with our members in a different way. There'll be YouTube sermons throughout the week, youth Bible lessons, children's Bible lessons, Bible studies, hopefully something several times a week. So, and as you all know, that the church is not just ceilings and walls, but it's a body of believers. And so, that is the church, not brick and mortar, it's the people. And so we're just connecting to our church members in a different way, and we have the same goal in mind as always before. And oh, by the way, this may be the only internet talk show where if you were a guest on a previous show, you might be pressured into hosting the next show. Thank you, Brother Jacob, for that, and you're welcome, John Evans. So without further ado, we have an exciting show tonight. And mainly because of our two special guests that we have with us, and I'll introduce them now. Kim Kanaday and Sabrina Barton. Thank you, ladies, for being here. Appreciate it. No. Social distancing. Anybody have a fever? Shortness of breath? You
not this week.
Sneezing? Not this week. Okay. All right. Good. Because if you do, we're gonna send you out, and you can phone in. Your
friend.
Yes, you can phone in the show. So how are y'all? I spoke last week about what I'm doing kind of as social distancing and what I'm doing at home. What big changes have happened since this has kind of been going on?
I haven't been around people. That's terrible for me. I'm used to being around people. So can y'all imagine when I get back to church how much talking I'm going to do? I already talk a lot now, and I'm loud, so now it's going to be tripled by the time we get back.
Gotcha. So
I made the mistake of calling her on the phone the other day just to check in on her, and I didn't think I was ever going to get off.
so your phone bill is going to be a little high.
Yes,
I
it will
understand.
be. We miss our people.
For sure, yes.
Understood. We have to do what we got to do, and hopefully every week we're going to have different hosts, different guests, because we want to be able to find out what people are. This is kind of unprecedented, what's going on right now. Even when we were growing up, nothing like this ever happened. We had difficult times, but this is kind of something new to this generation and our generation. So everybody's trying to kind of adjust right now.
Much worse than walking uphill in the snow both ways to school.
Yes,
yeah.
That's true. I don't know, in the snow. Cold. I don't know about that. So let's get started. I have we have several segments we're gonna go over. I have several questions. The first ones are gonna be really easy. Sabrina, what is your favorite hymn?
Oh, Because He Lives.
Because He Lives.
Yes.
That's in my top 5.
Oh,
Very good.
it's one of my favorites. I actually have two. That and Heaven's Jubilee. The old redback. Gotta get the redback hymnal. I love the redback.
Gotcha, understood. Kim, how about you?
Mine is He Will Make Me Glad, because we used to do that all the time. We had the fellowship hymns, not fellowship hymns, but the starting hymns before we were doing prayer, not the prayer not important, not like that, but when we were doing the hymns before church, we did that one a lot, and so it got to be one of our favorites, so we like it.
So, you're calling out Brother Tim, that's what you're trying to say. I hope you're watching. She's saying she needs her hymn back. So everybody's aware of it now, so the pressure's on you right now.
That's almost like I'm saying though less prayer, and that's not good. So let's don't say that. That's not a good thing.
We'll edit that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, second question. Which Bible character besides Jesus, that'd be an obvious answer for everybody, would you like to meet and have a long conversation with if you could do it right now? Anybody?
You went first for everything else. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I can go with. Let's see. Let me go with who. No. Y'all know me. I'm gonna ramble. Here, I'm just gonna be me. Believe it or not, it would be Rahab.
Rahab.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting that answer.
I don't think most people would think that, but thinking about where she was, where she come from, and who she became, I'm always about, and I know last week you were talking about being the underdog. When you were saying, I think it was David and Goliath, you said you were always
gotcha.
for the, you don't even remember what you said. Boy, you really didn't want to meet
I
me.
remember saying David and Goliath. I don't know if it was me that said underdog,
Oh.
but let's pretend I did.
Well, maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Hey,
Maybe I didn't make
It
it
was-
52 minutes.
hey, it was a super long video. We didn't realize that the first episode was going to last 52 minutes longer than probably the Sunday morning sermon.
True.
Not that I don't like these special guests we have, but we're going to try to cut it down from 52 minutes, I hope.
With us? Doubt it.
Not gonna
Or it's
happen.
going to be an hour and 52 minutes.
Yeah.
Either way.
Anyway, it would be Rahab.
Rahab.
I just think that's a very cool story of what God can do in a person's life. And then for her to fall into his lineage, that's something only God can do.
Understood. Gotcha.
Something he can do.
Good answer. Kim, how about you?
So I'm going to take what may be considered as kind of an easy out because it's been on my mind. Because one of the last major things that we studied about was right before we got locked up in quarantine was our women's retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were talking about Mary and Martha.
Yeah.
And because all of us tend to be Marthas, I would like to know what Martha thought about Jesus rebuking her and telling her, hey, you need to stop being so busy and just sit down and be still. I'd like to know just a little bit more about talking with her. I think that'd be
Cool.
neat.
That's cool.
I'm already noticing in the episodes that the ladies have a lot deeper answers than the gentlemen. I said Noah, I believe.
Yeah. I
Which
remember.
would be a nice,
Noah,
would be
yeah,
a
you
good
did.
conversation.
Yeah.
Talk about stories.
I forgot. You did say
I
Noah.
think you said he liked to meet.
No, I don't remember. I did watch it, though, I
Okay, yeah.
promise.
The moment y'all been waiting for. Same thing I had to go through last week. What is your funniest or most embarrassing moment at church? Who would like to start?
I'll go first.
You gonna go?
Yeah, I'll go first. So, basically, you could say anything that starts, Kim and Sabrina did this one time, or Kim and Allison did this one time, or Kim and Faith. Yeah, all those would probably be funny and or embarrassing. But one in particular did have to do with Sabrina. We had a concert here, which we've had a couple of times before, and I don't remember which year this was, when Wes Hampton came to sing.
Wait, what was his name again? I know what this is.
So, anyway,
I'm
he was
scared.
here, and he sang, and he was getting ready to leave, and he was coming through the fellowship hall when everybody was fellowshipping and eating. And I happened to be in line to get some pie. Shocker.
By the way, if you didn't hear her, it's Wes Hampton, just saying.
Shut up. Okay, this is not supposed to take that long, so I'm gonna hurry up. So anyway, he was coming through, and it was, hey, everybody was telling him to grab him something to eat. No, I'm good. We're gonna go down the road. And I said, oh, you gotta come get you some of Miss Peggy's pie. Everybody's gotta have some of Miss Peggy's pie. That's a true statement. And Miss Sabrina decided that was just the funniest thing in the world because he said, oh no, I don't want none of that pie, and had to give a hug. And she said it was a very close hug.
It was a very close hug. It would not pass your social distancing.
Oh, I got you.
It was way past that.
Understood.
Way past that.
Contamination.
I didn't see all that out of it, but from that point,
Embraced.
from that point forward, her and Steve have had a great time in making fun of me and talking about Wessie Poo. So hopefully Wes Hampton
Hopefully
will
he's
not
gonna
watch
watch
this.
this.
Yeah,
I hope.
maybe not.
It'll make him want to come back. Just
What?
saying.
Interesting.
Mm,
Hugs and pie.
It's great.
What could be better?
And he's a good singer.
That's true.
So, hey.
Don't forget that. Excellent singer. I guess that's
Great
why he was
singer.
here.
That was why he was here.
Probably so, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, very
not my
good.
turn now.
Okay. Well, there's not. Okay. I can think of one thing, but we may have two things.
Okay.
Do we have two things?
Oh, please.
I can think of one. Okay, there's only a couple of things that really, I don't get embarrassed that often. But I can honestly say, and Brother Sammy, I love you with all my heart, and you're funny. But you sneak up on me sometimes. And it's no secret that I have trouble controlling my laughs in church. And the day that you talked about vegetarian baked beans, I about lost it. And I couldn't quit laughing in the sanctuary.
Vegetarian baked beans.
I ever knew they existed. I can't even remember what we were talking about. Why he even come up and said that he had got him a can of vegetarian baked beans, and I couldn't quit laughing. Well, then everybody started laughing. Tim started laughing. Ronald Rhodes didn't think, the Rhodes must be on our mind.
Yeah.
Okay, Ronald didn't think I was ever going to quit laughing. Well, they start laughing, and then everybody's laughing because I couldn't quit laughing.
Yeah.
And it was awful. And then doggone Brother Sammy, you did it again with the toilet paper. When he did the toilet paper, he come out of nowhere with the toilet paper. And I was about to die. But anyway, maybe that was it.
I thought he like sneaks up on you like a ninja. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Brother Sammy, well, when
Yes.
he's the only one that can make me be quiet when he comes in the room.
Oh.
I guess I have to respect him. I don't have to. I choose to. Wait a minute. I don't have to, but I choose to.
So, good job.
Thanks.
Respect.
Thanks.
Well, very good. Well,
Well, okay.
any more?
Well, we could, but if we're on a time limit, we'll
I
be
would
good.
say ours went 52 minutes.
We'll be good, I guess.
Okay.
I don't
Well-
know. I don't want to be, but that's okay.
Yeah, we will.
I think Sabrina has another good story for us.
Well, I may let Kim start because it's ironic that you asked that question and that we're both here
Okay.
because something happened that involved our families,
It was pretty embarrassing for me.
and it was very embarrassing for me.
Ooh, yes, we
But
gotta
it's
hear
not
it.
going to make fun. I mean, it's not going to make sense unless Kim starts it because really the Kanadays took the lead
Oh, it's her
on
fault.
this.
Yeah.
Not her.
No,
The rest of them.
it was Steve.
Well, it was just Steve.
That's not a surprise.
We were on a, yeah, it's not. Deacon outing meal event, and we were at the Freight House.
Right now.
And we were in this room off to the side, and we got done eating and getting ready to leave. And I mean, that's a long ways.
I believe I was there for this.
Yeah.
Were
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
Yes. Keep going.
Yeah, it's a long ways from there to home. So, sometimes you need to visit facilities before you leave.
Oh, of course.
And so Mr. Kanaday, from the viewpoint that he had in the chair that he was sitting in to where the restrooms were, may or may not have had his view obstructed by something that left off the first two letters of what was written on the bathroom door.
Oh, understood.
So, okay, with that out of the way, he goes to the bathroom and he comes back and he is standing in a different place looking at that same door. And then he looks at the other door, and then he looks at the door he went in, and he looks at the door, and he looks at me and he says, I just went in the women's bathroom. And what's worse yet, Matthew followed me in there, and he's still
Oh.
there.
So.
And he may or may
it
not
is a
have gotten
different
caught
time.
in there
He did get caught, and
by
I
his
want to
mother.
say it was his
It
mother
was his mother.
and Debbie Alvis
Yeah.
and Sandra.
No, there
I
was
think
lots
it was.
of them.
I think it was several.
There
Well,
were lots
Matthew,
of them,
Steve
so.
made it out. Matthew didn't, but
You know,
Steve's a
embarrassing
leader.
stories may be like testimonies. They're not really yours to tell if they're not yours to tell, but that one had to be told.
Because if they do this, they probably wouldn't tell it.
That's right.
They may have been curious.
Correct.
You never know. They say it's nicer in there. I don't know. I don't go in ladies' restrooms. I'll just assume they're nicer.
Just ask Matthew and Steve. They'll tell you.
That's
Yeah.
true. Hey, next show maybe.
Yeah, Matthew knows to never follow Steve anywhere anymore now.
Goodness.
So,
Understood.
lesson
I got
learned.
you.
Okay.
Well, I got an idea. Instead of the next segment, Would You Rather, I've always been told that if you're going to host a talk show, if you're going to be a good talk show host, you have to have an exotic pet segment. And so we're going to start with a segment called Exotic Pet. So I've got one over here, and y'all have actually seen this before, I believe. Let me go get her. Let's see. Let's see here. sweetie's asleep. Oh, yes. Now,
No, Chris.
listen now. Now, I believe, Kim, y'all own a bearded dragon, don't you?
Today, we went and got it
Are
today.
you kidding?
Not
You have one of
Aw.
the.
We did. We went and got him today.
Now, now this is a bearded dragon, an adult, full-grown bearded dragon. If you're in the know, you call it a Beardy.
Yes.
Okay, Beardy. Now,
What's his name?
well, her
Her
name
name.
is Jake because now remember, Beardies only bite when they sense fear. So just try to calm yourself. They only attack if they sense.
Would
No.
you have been any better if it was a cat?
No. In the name of Jesus, I rebuke thee.
Understood.
I called him.
Her?
Do not.
Oh yes, I went to the vet. I went to the vet and to get Jake examined, just a health checkup, and we decided this is not a Jake, it's a Jackie.
You thought it was a Jake the whole time?
Well,
Yes,
it takes a little while to tell, yeah.
yes. I still really can't tell.
See, if you didn't have it, then that wouldn't be a problem.
Hey. Oops,
But
Hey,
bearded
buddy.
now, bearded dragons are native to Australia.
Which is where they should stay.
That's as big as they get, which is pretty big. They're omnivores. They eat meat and they eat plants. They sunbathe a lot. If it gets too hot in the Australian outback, they burrow under the ground. They live in trees and bushes.
Okay.
No.
Would you like to hold?
No.
Jake? Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, Jake.
My insides are shaking. Ugh.
Would it be worse if it was a snake?
I don't know. Ugh. Why has it got a hole in his head? Why is the hole in the side of his head? What is that?
That's a good question. I don't
Or is
know.
that his ears?
I'm assuming it's something
An
earport. I don't know.
earport? I just
I
think
don't
there's a hole.
I haven't researched that.
Hey. It's okay.
Now,
He just likes
we
to
would
be
like for
pushed.
you to at least touch the Beardy one time.
Touch his head. He
Here,
won't.
let's see.
No, I don't trust you.
Okay.
Here we go.
Look at his nails.
Please just don't put it in my face. Please. Please. I'm gonna hyperventilate. No!
Okay. Well, we've
I can't
exotic
do
pet
it.
section over. How about we just do this? You sweetie.
Do you want to swap
Sweet
places?
girl.
He's got a hole in that. She's got a hole in that side of her head.
Sweetie.
Is that ears really?
It's just a little.
I think you're ready for Would You Rather instead of exotic pet segment.
I wasn't expecting that thing to come out. Ooh.
Hey, due to the pandemic and
That is not social distancing either. That is not fair, and I think it needs to go up because if it's from out wherever, it's carrying something.
that's a good point. Well,
Just
it hasn't been to
ooh.
China.
Hasn't been to China
Did it fly over here?
I don't.
for a very long
I
time.
don't
Yes.
know. How old is it?
It's very 5, 6, 7 years.
Is that like dog years? So it's like 50 or 60?
Let's say that. Sure. No, we got it as an adult from a friend, so we don't
its
know.
eyes are really,
Now-
ugh.
Kim, you
Yeah.
said you got
Yeah.
a Beardy.
We did.
I assume it's a baby.
It is a baby. It's kind of a bigger baby, but yeah.
You
Got
let
it
it run in the
today.
house?
Not yet, no, because he was just getting used to the house today. So we got his enclosure all ready and got him set up this afternoon. And Alex gave him a bath for the first time right before we came here. So
Very good. And they're very fast when they're young, aren't they? Or can be.
they are.
They are.
Do you let that thing run around?
No, it sleeps on the back of the couch at night.
So
It
you don't
doesn't
know where
move.
it's at? Does it ever move?
Oh, during the day in a little terrarium, only at night out.
Oh.
Yes.
Because they like heat and everything.
Yes, you had to have it like a sun lamp, heat lamp on.
Oh, I didn't know
Right.
that.
Get sick. Yes, but what is?
Well, now
what
that
a
is kind of
sweetie.
sad. I mean, I wouldn't want to get sick, but.
But
Oops, I
you wouldn't
forgot to
mind
put
me
it
just
up.
releasing it in the woods right now either.
Well, I would say, oops, I forgot to put it up.
Moving right along, would you rather? I have 3 questions for you on would you rather. Just try not to get distracted. Okay, according to the Bible, Goliath was around 9 feet tall. Now, Zacchaeus, as we all know from the children's song, was a wee little man. Now, The Bible says he was of short stature. We don't know exactly how tall he was, but I did a little research, and apparently a lot of people think if you're an adult and you're shorter than 4'10", you're of short stature. So let's just assume, for the sake of argument, Zacchaeus was 4 feet tall. Okay, so here's your question, and Sabrina, we'll start with you.
Thanks.
Would you rather be 9 feet tall like Goliath 3 days a week for the rest of your life, or 4 feet tall for 3 days a week for the rest of your life? So a giant or a wee little man?
Ooh. Believe it or not, I honestly think wee little man. Because I could blend in. Because I like watching people. I could blend in, and then I wouldn't stick out and be weird, even though I do that anyway. So I'm already like that. I already stick out and am awkward and goofy, so I want to be the opposite.
Be hard to reach things on shelf.
Well, right now I can't really go out anyway because we're supposed to social distance.
Oh,
but
that's
I have to remind,
That's right.
see, look, it's trying to get away.
All right, Kim, same question. A giant or not so giant?
I would pick to be a giant because I fuss in my laundry room all the time about not being able to reach these high shelves. So those 3 days, I would just do my laundry on those days.
Oh,
so.
smart.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's clever.
You'll have to increase your doorways probably. Well, ceilings are 9 feet. A lot of ceilings are 9 feet.
Hey, would that get you to have a bigger swimming pool then? Could you get the biggest one?
I don't know.
I probably shouldn't have went there, but I did.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, 9 feet tall. Okay, very good. Now, Kim, we'll start with you for the next one. Would you rather witness the parting of the Red Sea from the Bible, or Jonah being spit out from the whale?
Oh, definitely the parting of the Red Sea. I mean, that's got to be much more interesting than seeing somebody covered in fish guts spit out.
True. It probably wasn't
Sorry,
the
Jonah.
most sanitary of experiences. Yes,
That would be like that thing opening its mouth and spitting something out.
that's a good point.
Because if I'm Zacchaeus, I'll be coming out and have a wee little dragon. Ugh.
I'm assuming same answer for you then?
Yeah, it would. Because I want to know if they would see animals. I wonder if they saw fish when it parted. That's what my Sunday school kids ask. Did they see fish when we walked by the dry land? I don't know.
Probably very panicked fish, I'm assuming.
Well, I've never, think about it. What would you
True.
see? Would you see this when he parted it? Could you see? I wonder what they saw. I don't know. And that's not even the important part, but kind of interesting.
It is interesting. Very
I
good.
just think that would be very massive.
Maybe that's where the first aquarium came from.
Hey, I didn't think about that.
I'm
Very
just
good.
kidding.
All right, question number 3. We'll start with you, Sabrina. Would you rather have the strength of Samson forever, or, now I gotta kind of qualify this, in the book of 1 Kings, the prophet Elijah, there is a tiny section where him and King Ahab and their men, they're all going to Jezreel, and they're in a hurry because apparently it's going to rain. They want to beat the rain, and apparently Elijah has such great super speed. God grants him super speed, and he overtakes the chariots. So he's moving faster than the chariots. Okay, true story. So, would you rather have the strength of Samson or the speed of Elijah when he overtook the chariots? Speed or strength?
I'm a little distracted. I'm sorry.
I gotcha.
Let's see. My mouth goes 90 to nothing all the time. So maybe strong things don't come out, but blubber. So, like blubber? No, not blubber. Blubberish? I don't know.
Gibberish?
Gibberish, not
Okay.
blubber.
You're
Gibberish.
thinking of Jonah again.
I get blubber in the well. Yeah, that's good. Let's see.
Are
I
you
think
trying to
strength.
say?
Strength, I think.
Okay, because I trying to think this through. You're thinking if you speak fast now, if you had super speed, you wouldn't be able to be understood. You'd be speaking in tongues, basically.
Oh, well, I don't know about that now. Maybe. I don't know. I was just thinking speed. I think I'd rather have the strength.
Strength, okay.
Yeah.
Good choice.
I think I'd rather have strength.
All right, Kim?
I've never been fast at doing anything, so I think I'd like to have a little speed for a little while.
Hey, laundry day again.
That's right. If I am tall and fast,
You've done it in no time.
Yep.
Wow. Well, very good.
Hey, you would win the Pure Water, Pure Love.
yes.
Oh,
If the
the
strength could come then.
Yeah.
I mean, not strength, the
The
speed.
Oh, the charity 5K.
Yeah. So
Oh,
she's
that's right.
she's the next winner. So if it's coming at that time.
Yeah, and that would actually be good because the last time I participated in that, I was the last one that came in. Yeah,
Gotcha.
so I mean, no offense to the older population, but even all those that like have double knee replacements, they all beat me. Very embarrassing. That might should have been my embarrassing story.
I gotcha.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, I think if
Okay.
we knew that you were granted super speed, we probably would have to disqualify you. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't want a medal. I just want to cross the finish line without huffing and puffing.
before somebody else.
Before somebody
I got you.
else.
Understood.
Anybody else.
All right. Well, ladies, this has been delightful. I really appreciate it. We've learned a lot. We've learned too much. Sometimes we just learn too much. But I really appreciate y'all, and we appreciate y'all viewing this. And sorry, Sabrina, for the animal encounter.
It's okay.
But we will have another episode next week. Hopefully, different host, different guest, and everybody stay safe out there. God bless.
We love you guys.
Bye.
See you very soon.